Hi, Jennifer. This is Kimberly from American Income Local 227. This is the company that handles the permanent benefits for your brother Rick's association. Now, did your brother Rick let you know why I'd be calling? Great, he was supposed to, and I'm glad that he did. Either way, I'll back up and fill you in on what he did for you. Your brother Rick is a member in good standing with his union and was allowed to extend some of his private benefits to his family and people closest to him. So definitely be sure to thank him or her if you haven't done so already. Now, Jennifer, your benefits package that Rick requested for you has been processed and is ready to be sent to you, but they have me explain it to you and go over it through a virtual call first. That way you understand it all and know how to use it. Does that make sense? Now, do you have your smartphone or tablet or laptop available close to you right now? Okay, great. Before we schedule the time to go over these with your spouse, they require me to do a quick audio and visual check. It's pretty simple. Doesn't take that long. I'm going to send you your benefits portal link so we can make sure everything works for us on both ends, okay? Just let me know when you've received it. Go ahead and click on that so we can test the connection, and I'll stay on the line in case you have any questions. All right. Hi, can you hear me? You can see me? Great. Okay. Again, my name is Kimberly, and I'm the benefit rep who will be reviewing your benefits that your brother Rick extended to you and your spouse. You have a spouse, correct? Yes? Okay, his name is John. Awesome. Let me write that down. John. Now, my schedule is very full with families that they have me seen this week already. But I do have some time now. If you and John are available, we can review everything. It won't take that long. So go ahead and get John and sit down where I can see both of you on the screen, okay? Okay, awesome. All right, well, hi, John. Hi, Jennifer. Again, like I was just explaining to Jennifer, my name is Kimberly from American Income Local 227, and I am going to be explaining the benefits that Jennifer's brother Rick extended to you and your family through his union. Okay, awesome. So, John, what do you do for work? Okay. Jennifer, what do you do for work? And how long have you been doing that? Perfect. Now I'm going to share my screen with you really quick. Here's a copy of the letter that the members received. Like it says here, my job is to go over the benefits with you and get you enrolled. And when I'm finished, they'll have you fill out the report card that will go back to ALI to let them know that I've done my job. Is that fair? Okay, perfect. So as the letter explains here, they have me meeting with you for two reasons. One, to explain the benefits package that Jennifer's brother Rick referred you guys for. And the most important reason is that we are meeting today is I'm going to get you actually qualified for the permanent benefits that Rick made available for you. But I'm going to let you know right now, it's going to be very hard to qualify and many people don't, okay? So do you know the difference between temporary benefits and your permanent benefits? Okay. What they mean by temporary is that everyone has benefits through work. But when you leave your job or change careers, your benefits go away. So they have set up permanent ones that fill the gaps those gaps that you don't already have at work. So whenever you do change jobs or retire, you can take them with you and they don't expire. Does that make sense now? Yeah, so make sure you thank Rick, because he's a really awesome opportunity. So there is 3 or 4 no-cost benefits that you get. I'm going to go through them right now. So your first is your AD&D certificate. It's a $2,000 accidental death policy. This covers you when you die of any type of accident. It's non-contributing and non-participating, which means that you don't have to pay for it, and you've already qualified for it. Pretty nice, huh? Yeah. I will email you the certification for your records. Does that make sense? Okay. So the next one is our no-cost child Safe ID kits. These are so cool. Our family Are you familiar with Amber Alerts? Yes, we kind of all know what an Amber Alert is. Okay. Police in our communities are actively searching for 2,300 children each and every day. Over 800,000 children each year. When unprepared, it can take up to 4 hours for police to collect the information they need to put together an Amber Alert, which means that 4-hour search radius in every direction is even more frightening is the fact that if a lost child isn't found within the first 24 hours, there is a 93% chance that they won't be found alive. So with statistics like that, can you see, Jennifer and John, why these child safety kits are so important for every family? So in fact, it is our goal to get these child safety kits in to 100% of the community. The International Union of Police and the National Crime Prevention Council and ALI want to get these McGruff child safety kits out to 100% of the community. But in reality, it's going to be impossible without your help. So what we want you to do is we're asking every families to sponsor 100% of the families they know in the area to receive a kit at no cost to you and no cost to them. So it is so important that you are grabbing your phones and going from A to Z so they don't miss anybody, protecting the children in the communities and the families that they care about. So go ahead, grab your phone. Who is the first person in your contacts under the letter A that has children under 18? Is that Nancy? Okay, and Nancy has 2 kids? Okay. And Will? And Will has 2 kids too? Okay, perfect. So our next no-cost benefit, we will be reaching out to Nancy and Will at the end, but we'll get that taken care of for you, okay? So the next no-cost benefit that you have been qualified for is our no-cost will kits. With everything going on, most people are scrambling to get a will prepared, realizing that wills are cost a lot of money. In fact, the cost of a will in North America is between $940 and $1,500 just to prepare a will per individual. Even more surprising is how many families do not have a will prepared. They realize that everyone has a beneficiary for their bank accounts, for their life insurance, but very few people have a will set up to take care of the children and the lives they leave behind. Here is the brief explanation of the will kit. I'm going to share it on my screen so you can see it. Let me know when you can see it. So since wills are so important in times like these, we are allowing you to extend $10,000 worth of will kits to the 10 closest families and friends. So at the very end, this will be another spot where you can put down your family and friends to extend your benefits to. So we'll go over that as well. This is your AIL Plus card. This is not health insurance. This card is a no cost and will give you your discounts on vision, prescription, hearing, chiropractor services. Here's the service number, the website. It lists all the providers. And so you can go ahead and fill out this section and they will receive your card so you can start receiving discounts. Pretty nice, huh? So that's another one of our no-cost benefits. So our last and final no-cost benefit is the Family Information Guide. This works with your will kit. So when something happens to you, your family will know exactly what to do, which is awesome, right? I mean, no second guessing. After you fill this out, you'll want this to be in a safe place in your home. There's one for each of you at the top here. You put your name, vital information, date of birth right in this box. See, social security number right here. And have either of you ever been in the military? Well, awesome. Thank you so much for your service and happy Veterans Day today. So you want to make sure that the persons to be notified is filled out. This is a very important part. Did you know that millions of dollars go to unclaimed life insurance each year because either the family doesn't know about the insurance, they don't know how to make a claim, or the company can't find the beneficiary? So they're saying that you need to put at least 5 people down that can be contacted immediately when something happens to you. So make sure you put your top 5 people down there. So now, because you have an in with the union and ALI, they're allowing you to extend the same no-cost benefit package to the people in your life you're going to help out with something. So you mentioned that you had a friend Nancy and a friend Will. So they're both going to be receiving their $2,000 AD&D certificate, ALI Plus card, and family information guide, will kits, and child safe ID kits of their own. So to qualify, they do have to be 21 years or older, live in Oregon, and be employed. So, John, will you take care of your family first? Well, we will take care of your family first, then your closest friends, then all of your coworkers that you haven't sponsored to have all of these no-cost benefits. Okay, so, John, who is your first family member? Jack. And he's got kids and a wife, and her name, Annie. Okay. And your close friends? Todd. And Tennille. Okay, perfect. Okay. And Jennifer, who are your first closest? Well, we got your 2 friends. We got Nancy and Will. So who are your closest family members? Okay, Jessica. Does Jessica have a husband? Lori. Oh, Tom. Tom, you said? Okay, then Lori. And then Lori has a husband? Okay. Okay, so now that we have everybody's names, let's go ahead and grab your phone, because we're going to need their phone numbers. And I'm going to go ahead and send both of you a text that you can forward to them, to these family members and friends, to let them know about the benefits, and that I will be calling them to get them set up with their benefits packages. It has all my contact information, so let me know if you got that text. It's very important to let people know that you sponsored them and let them know who I am first. So that's why we're going to do this text right now. Everybody text, right? I'm going to send you the text right now. Go ahead and forward the text to them. And while you're forwarding the text, go ahead and give me their phone number so I can call them. Okay, perfect. We got all that written down. Okay. So now we're going to move on to the qualification part of our process, okay? Does that sound okay? All right. So since you don't know exactly what John did for you, I'll back up a bit. We're almost there. Now, as they mention in the letter, there's a program they've set up for the members. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you can see the letter. This is the letter. In fact, this is the Labor Advisory Board. It consists of 54 international labors and associations. They're very important because they do is help, advise, and make recommendations as to where the gaps in your benefits are and what benefits people need. They've asked us to read this letter to each of the members. Since John sponsored you, I will read it to you. So here's the letter. We're reading it. We got all that. I'm going to have to find that so I can pull it up, learn how to share my screen. Okay. You see that the reason they were chosen to do this program for you is the unions. They do realize that typically 31 days after you leave your job, get laid off, or retire, you can lose your insurance benefits, or they greatly reduce. These are permanent benefits, portal insurance. These are permanent and portable insurance benefits, excuse me. And if you qualify, you keep them for the rest of your life. Pretty nice, huh? Yeah, it's pretty awesome. In fact, don't just work police, firefighters, and teachers. We work with over 40,000 groups that are rated A+, and over 5 million members are enrolled. So we must be doing something right, wouldn't you say? If we have over 5 million members receiving all these fantastic benefits. Okay, so just like John extending these benefits to you doesn't mean that you're automatically enrolled in these permanent benefits. You'll have to qualify. If you're too high risk, they won't let you in. So let me ask you a couple questions just to make sure, okay? Okay, so first question. Have you ever had any health issues in your lifetime? Any family history of cancer, diabetes, or heart disease? Okay. Okay. Do you take any prescription medications? Have you ever used tobacco or marijuana in the past 12 months? Okay. And have you ever had any arrests, including DUI? Okay, perfect. So based on what you told me now, I'm not sure if you've qualified yet, but you have a chance. So I can at least explain the benefits to you. The needs analysis determines the need based on 3 things: family situation, benefits you already have, and income. So what they asked me to do is ask you a couple more questions to see exactly what you may qualify for. So John and Jennifer, I'm going to fill you in on our philosophy here at AO. It is the Our Power philosophy. Have you ever heard of the Our Power philosophy? So Our Power philosophy is a very old principle that says members should take the first 1 to 2 hours of their weekly wage and set it aside to protect them and their families and provide their families for a future. Now, 1 to 2 hours wage per week is roughly 1/20th of your income, right? And that's not going to change your lifestyle at all, is it? No, of course not. Any financial planner would tell you to set aside 10 to 15% of your income, which is normal. 10 to 15% of your income is a suggestion that everybody says you should be setting aside. Your program is based on 1 or 2 hours, which is only 5% of all of your income. So that means that all members can afford it. Now, provided that you can qualify, they allow you to set aside $20 to $100 a week. Every member has different situations and different hourly wages. What I am obligated to do is to show you what setting aside your 2 hours combined will do and what kind of protection you will have. Then, when I am done, they would like to have your opinion. So this is the report card I was talking about earlier that is going to go directly back to AIL and let them know that I've done my job. Is that fair? Okay. So John and Jennifer, what do you make an hour? So Jennifer, you make $23 an hour, and John, you make $15. Okay, perfect. Now what I'm going to do is show you what setting aside this $23 an hour and this $15 an hour will do for you and your family, okay? Just like any other enrollment period, provided you can qualify, there are forms that need to be filled out together today, and that's not something that we can do later over the phone. So be sure to stop me at any time if you have any questions. Is that fair? Okay. Now, they're concerned with 3 major areas. So the 3 major areas that we're trying to qualify you for is accidental injury, final expenses, and paycheck protection. So the first area they're concerned is when you're injured in any type of accident. Have either one of you thought about what you would do if you were injured in an accident? Well, the Labor Advisory Board and American Income have given a lot of thought. Their concern isn't that your medical bills won't be taken care of. Your health insurance should take care of that, right? When it's job related, when workers' compensation is there, a lot of members have some form of disability. What they are concerned about with lost wages and other expenses starting to add up. Now, John, when you end up in the hospital, even though your medical bills are being taken care of, no one's paying you to be there, right? Yeah. When you get that phone call, obviously you won't be working either way. Will there be vice versa? And God forbid something happens to you or your children, that in case... Okay, God forbid something happens to any of your children, that in case no one is working, right? So John and Jennifer, when you or any of your kids get hurt and have to go to the emergency room, they're looking to send you up they're going to send you a very large bill for just taking the time to go get the injury looked at. For any kind of accident, whether you scrape your knee, need stitches, or off the job, that money comes to you right here at home. So it doesn't matter. The only exception is that when you have to stay overnight in the hospital, they're going to send you $100 or up to what the policy limit says for the full year. That ends up being a certain amount of dollars per week. It's awesome. It's a really great benefit. Now let me ask you, when that money comes in, will that help your family? Yes, definitely will. Now the only expectation is that when you have to stay in intensive care, they're going to send you a certain amount of dollar per day up to 2 full weeks. This reason is why that amount per week is basically usually when you are in intensive care or in a life and death situation. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, the second area that we are concerned with was your final expenses. Now, John, who is going to be responsible for taking care of your funeral and final expenses when something happens to you? Now, let me ask you, have either one of you had a funeral? The reason that I've asked is that it is a very serious problem. Thank you.
Sorry, are you taking
No, yeah, I am. It's okay.
Sorry.
It's all good.
It's freezing in here.
It's all good. Thanks. So the reason that I've asked is that this is a very serious problem. Now, the concern is not the fact that you're going to die, because we all will, right? But when we die, someone in our family has to face a funeral director immediately, which is always the scare, right? Funeral directors these days require all the bulk of the money up front on spot before we start doing anything. Or they at least want to know where the money is going to come from. Do you realize that? A lot of people don't. So while your family is waiting for your life insurance to come in, who has to take care of the things in the meantime? That's right, your family, Jennifer and John, are going to have to take care of these things. So the money out of savings that was there, or yet you have to borrow it, which is just terrible. Does that make sense? So we're talking about the funeral expenses that you have to pay right away. And this is going to take care of that for you with no worries. So now, what they've done is set up the Freedom of Choice certificate. This certificate is to take care of all your final expenses. If you qualify, each of you will receive your own certificate that looks just like this. And share my screen. Can you see it there? Now, they call this the Freedom of Choice because it's good at any funeral home. The way this works is when something happens to you, Jennifer, or you, John, you take this certificate to the funeral home you choose. And when the funeral director looks at you and says, "I'm really sorry for your loss. How are you going to pay for this?" You're going to give them the certificate, sign your name on the back, and at this point, the Freedom of Choice has taken care of everything from this point on. It's pretty awesome. So John, in your case, they're going to set aside $15,000. And Jennifer, in your case, they're going to set aside another $15,000 to take care of your funeral and final expenses. What's not used at the funeral home can be set to the beneficiary, which is even more cool. Now, let me ask you, John and Jennifer, isn't that nice to finally have that taken care of for your family? Yeah, you don't even have to worry about it. Each of the kids are also covered for $10,000 of this benefit that can be converted to $50,000 at age 21, regardless of their health or habits. Now, the only expectation is this. When you die before age 65, it will be typically in some kind of accident, right? So, John, when something happens to you in any type of accident, not only will they immediately be taking care of all your funeral expenses, but they are going to send your family an additional amount of dollars to help them during that time. When you die in an accident, what kind of accident will you probably die in? That's right, probably a car accident. In that case, you're going to send an additional money plus take care of the final expenses. When traveling on a common carrier like a bus, plane, or train, they will also send you another additional form of money for the family. Each of your children are also covered for 20% of the parents for those same accidental deaths. Does that make sense? So the third problem that they're concerned about is your paycheck. John, you're on your way home from work and you get killed in a car accident, or you pass away from a stroke or a heart attack. Is your paycheck going to keep coming in to support Jennifer and the family? No, of course not. Your paycheck vanishes just like that in a snap of fingers. Just like that. But taking care of your family, putting food on the table, paying the bills, those are all pretty much the same. So Jennifer, do the bills keep coming in month after month? And John's paycheck is gone, right? But let me ask you, do you have life insurance, right? Hopefully 700,000, 900,000, 10 times the annual income. And I'm sure that insurance company realizes that all of its members do have life insurance. But here's what happens in a typical situation. When you die, your family immediately has to start dipping into lump sums. First for reimbursement for burials and miscellaneous expenses, but because your paycheck has stopped coming in, you have to keep dipping into your savings to pay bills and put food on the table. And then a year or two later, what happens to all the money? That's right. It's completely disappeared and it's gone. So here is your paycheck protection and reimbursement income. John, when something happens to you, they're going to start sending Jennifer your paycheck the very next month, every single month after that for a minimum of 1 full year. Now, the reason they choose at least 1 year because you need a decent time to adjust, because that would be a big adjustment. A couple of months just isn't enough time. Does that make sense? What they're going to do in your case, John, when you die, they're going to start sending Mary a allotted amount every single month for that 1 year for any cause of death. Jennifer, when something happens to John and they send you and your family that check, will that give your family time to adjust? Yeah, of course it will. Now, you'll be in the position when that does happen, you'll take the money you received and get it invested into your future, your children's education and retirement. Does that make sense? Perfect. Now this does build an emergency fund. After 3 years, if things ever get tight financially, will be some money to help you take care of your program during that time, so you don't have to lose it. There are also paid up benefits, so when you retire, you can stop contributing to the program and keep the reduced paid up final expense benefit for the rest of your life. Pretty nice, huh? So they're always going out of their way to make sure that you have these benefits permanently. Have you ever thought about what you will do when you are diagnosed with a terminal illness? Well, they put a lot of thought into this. In fact, they realize you're going to need a lot of money when you get diagnosed with a terminal illness and not to expect to live more than a specific time. So they're going to send you half of the final expense paycheck protection, and the other half will come to your family after you are gone. There's a strike and layoff clause so that you can't lose your program. In fact, in the case of a union strike, they will take care of your insurance benefits if you are for up to 1 year, if you have never have to pay it back. John, even if you can work just 1 day because of a strike, they will take care of your benefits not only for the week in which the money happened, but for the whole month. They will take care of your program for up to 3 months and you'll never have to pay it back. Pretty nice, huh? Also, the insurance benefits are guaranteed and non-cancelable, which means you can qualify them no matter what happens in the future to your health, age, or habits. No one can ever take them away from you. Does that make sense? Okay, let's recap. Now, I've showed you setting aside 2 hours, what 1 to 2 hours will do for your family. Let's review it and make sure it's clear. Your accidental injury benefit are there for your family. Your freedom of choice certificate covers you, your spouse, and your children for any cause of death and is there until it is used. Your paycheck protection and all of your protections on the side here make sure no matter what happens moving forward, you never have to lose your benefits after today. Even if you change jobs or get sick or move again, you can see why these benefits are so important to your family. They got paycheck protection, final expense protection. So now, my job is, because of your relationship with Rick and what he did for you, this is to help you get enrolled in what you qualify for. The best part is they set this up like a payroll deduction, but they do it once a month through your own checking account. Does that make sense? That way, when you change jobs or retire, you never have to worry about losing your insurance benefits because they're already under your control. Now you're not your employers or the union. Pretty nice, huh? So, John and Jennifer, let's face it, you'll be going to die. We don't have a choice. Either way, we deal with this now. So someone in your immediate family will have to deal with this when something happens anyways. Does that make sense? So we might as well make it super easy. Now, you will probably have to answer some medical questions to see if you can qualify, but probably the most important question I need to ask you is, when something happens to both of you in a bad car wreck, will there be a little over this certain amount? Who do you want the money to go to? So who do you want your beneficiary to be? Now, it doesn't make a difference to them which program you qualify for. Most families try to qualify for 2 hours combined, which you guys said was $38. So we're doing a $38 a week program for you two, for John and Jennifer. So, and some members choose to use a more basic program just to get started, so they will upgrade down the road. So either way, we can get you guys enrolled today. Which way do you want to start? Do you want to do the 1 hour or the 2 hour? So while you're thinking about which option makes most sense, I'll go ahead and ask you the medical questions to make sure you can qualify. So I need your email and phone number. So after we go through all the medical questions and we get everything figured out, we have picked a plan. Your policies will arrive within 6 to 8 weeks. Once you receive your permanent benefits, they'll permanently qualified and accepted. I'll share my screen so you can see what's happening, and I will show you the paid up values, the monthly income amounts, total, face amounts. I'll explain the policy and how it works. I will show you your blue folder. This is a blue folder that you were going to get. Now, Jennifer and John, the next part is very important. Other than affordably or because this covers everything in one, what are the top 3 reasons you have these insurance benefits? When we're all finished, you will finally have all the things taken care of. You will finally take this off your checklist. How do you feel? We got it all done. Well, congratulations. It's important for you to understand now that you have this, you should never lose it. If anything ever needs to be changed or you need help, you call our service number. We are here for you. Please make sure to let your family and friends know that I will be contacting them. I will also be calling you in the next week or so. Have an awesome, awesome day.